All right, we are live at the Melrose Place Madhappy store in the back. The store is really cool, and I know this location well because it's across the street from our Run Club space, and it's very, 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 very expensive for those that don't know. So business must be good. We have a special guest. Please introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? My name's Peiman. Like Dee said, I started this brand Madhappy with a couple other guys 2.5 years ago. And right now we're in our Melrose pop-up, which is our 10th pop-up we've done. Brand focused all around positivity and optimism and just trying to make the world a better place.
So everyone says retail is dead, and you're doing pop-ups.
Yeah.
Do they work?
Yeah, I think retail is dead is like a general thing that everyone's been saying because like that's an easy thing to say. When we first started, we launched online, of course, like everyone else starts, and soon after we saw that like this is a very much an in-person brand, right? Like we're trying to push this like optimistic lifestyle and you have to feel and see the brand. So we just tried to get super cheap spaces that were vacant, and we would get these short-term leases because the landlords wanted stuff going on in their spaces, and we would throw parties, we would have events, we would throw panels, and we would sell stuff. So it started working well for us, and then it kind of became our thing, right? Like going on these tours across the country with different pop-ups that are only available for a certain amount of time, so you feel like you got to go, and then there's like exclusive stuff at each of the stores. So that's worked so far for us.
And you think the experience of going into a store is translating to your online business?
For sure. I think a good example of this is last year we were at Art Basel. So we did our first Miami pop-up last year. We won't be there this year, but when we opened the store there, we didn't really have too many customers in Florida at all, right? And we were open there for 2 months, December and January. The store did well both months. So we try to be profitable in every store. We're not like, oh, hopefully over the next year with the sales here. But when you're looking at the sales over the coming months, it does very well, and it still continued to grow there for sure.
So the brand's called Madhappy. It's about optimism and positive energy and positive mental health. What is, do you think brands have to be like cause-based to kind of exist in today's world?
For sure. So I think it's important to be about something, right? Like it's harder to start a brand now with nothing behind it.
No soul, yeah.
Yeah, no soul. I don't think you necessarily need to have like, oh, this is our social cause or this is our whatever cause. For us, it was like very much part of the brand, right? Like the name is Madhappy, right? So you almost feel a certain way when you hear that. And the larger mission around mental health grew out of that, and it's like a very organic part of it.
So why mental health? Is it something one of you, the founders, were faced with, or was it something that you saw people, your, surrounding communities dealing with?
For sure. I think both. So 4 of us started it, but one of my partners, Mason, who's been my friend for like 15 years, has struggled with mental health his whole life. So that was like our first view into it. And then as we were growing up and you're seeing it more in the press with the celebrity suicides and what's going on with bullying across social media, we saw that 1, no brand's ever like been the voice for this, and 2, there's clearly a big need for it.
Okay. Are you happy?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think like happiness and like kind of what we talk about is like Madhappy isn't about like you're happy all the time, because like that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's more about like finding, being okay with like the ups and downs in life and being optimistic despite those things. And that's what Madhappy is more about than like everything's happy all the time.
Got it. How old are you?
25.
And so at 25, what makes you happy?
Yeah, right now I think for us, like we're at such a young age and young part of our career that there's like so much opportunity, right? So we're like super lucky to even like live here, right? Like me and my brother, we moved here from Italy when I was 6 and he was 4. So even to have like the chance to build this brand is amazing, right? And like wouldn't be possible everywhere. So that's like super exciting for me, right? Like having the opportunity to do what we do every day and be my own boss and make my own mistakes and try to learn from them and keep growing.
That's amazing. What about, you've had your business, you said 2.5 years?
Yeah.
What's the biggest mistake you've already made?
Yeah, so I think making mistakes like every day. I think earlier on, we just didn't realize like how complex production is, and really making sure you're working with great people there, right? And even if you have to spend a little more to work with the best, it's well worth it. And you don't want to deal with the hassles of working with people that are just going to screw you down the line. I think.
Got it. And that you're talking about vendors. So like just choosing wrong vendors to work with.
Yeah.
Do you think it matters that you're from LA and built a fashion brand in LA? Like, could you have built this brand in Scottsdale?
Right. So that's a good question. I think one, our brand specifically is very much an LA brand, right? Like Madhappy and the messaging we're pushing around it because 3 of our 4 founders are from here. But 2, no, I think like LA has like one of the best like fashion hubs and manufacturing hubs in anywhere in the country, right? So we always talk about like we don't think it would be possible if we didn't have a factory we could go to, if we didn't have people like you we could talk to, right? Like there's so many of these people in LA that have been so helpful to us that it would not be really possible anywhere else. Like maybe New York, but I don't even want to even think about that.
Yeah, that's interesting. And so you have a very impressive investor list. For a young fashion brand, it's very rare to get like marquee investors. How do you get those people?
For sure. I think when we started this brand, it wasn't even about like, let's try to raise money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first year and a half, almost 2 years, was just us trying to figure it out, see if people even liked the product. But I think after we got that and the pop-ups started taking shape and our messaging became clear, people were just really interested in what we were doing, right? And it's not just about the clothes we're selling. It's more around the messaging around mental health and the community we're building out of that. And
Do
I
you think the mental health thing played a lot into some of these people taking a shot? I mean, I know a lot of your investors through other dealings. You know, they're very seasoned, smart, strategic people, and they rarely take early bets. And do you think there's something that struck a chord, like timing? You're at the right place at the right time?
For sure. I think timing's been a huge part of what we're doing, 100%. I think the mental health thing is a very unique part to what we're doing and a unique community we're building there. And then 3, though, at the end of the day, I think that our product's really good and everyone who saw our product, like not even looking at anything else we were doing, liked it, right?
Yeah.
And like that's what's been super important for us because we didn't want to start another brand that's just selling like Gildan hoodies left and right and just trying to make money for a couple years. We're trying to really build a product that's like here to stay.
So what's the vision of Madhappy 10 years from now?
For sure. You know, for us, like we want to go more international, right? So we have a pretty big base in Asia and in Europe and have some opportunity to test some pop-ups there and set up some distribution there and then continue working on growing the product mix and creating content around that.
Okay. But is there a brand that you're like, I want to be that brand? Like I have brands that I idolized, like when I started this business. Who would it be for you?
For sure. That's a good question. I think there's a lot of parts of different brands that we like. So we like some of the things Kith has done in being in the culture for so long and being so relevant and working with the right partners at the right time, something that I think we've been doing so far. We like a brand like Patagonia that's really stood for something the whole time it's been around, really had that core and stuck to it even as it grew. So really trying to pull from these different angles. And we don't really see ourselves as like, let's open 50 stores in the US, but it's more about like how global can we go? And let's not only think about this like small US customer because we feel like the name and the clothes are very like accessible by anyone.
Okay. And you were recently added to the Forbes 30 under 30 list. What does that mean to you?
Damn, I knew this was coming. No, I mean, I think it's always an honor to be included on those lists.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these things happen after the fact, right? So we've been working super hard for like the past 3 years on this, and it's cool to get recognition.
Yeah.
So we're grateful for it, but it doesn't change anything, and just got to keep going.
Yeah. No, I think even though we're hard on the list itself, it still means something.
For sure.
Because it's not easy to be recognized by your peers. Or by anybody, period. Because I know it's very hard. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
All right, now we're gonna have some fun. What is your most prized fashion piece? Not Madhappy.
Ooh, non-Madhappy. That's tough. I have these like old Supreme pants that I wear a lot, like in like colder weather type.
What kind of was it cargo or was it?
No, so they're like more like track type pants
Okay.
that are pretty cool, and I wear them a lot, even like to work here. But I just love them.
Okay. Your favorite pair of sneakers?
Oh, that's a good question. Right now, I really like the React 87s. So I'm wearing some now, but have a bunch of them and Really
Great
been
shoe.
loving them.
Unbelievably designed shoe. Who do you look up to in fashion?
Another good question. I think for us, like we grew up in LA, right? So we're lucky. So growing up, I love the hundreds, and
Yeah.
getting to meet Bobby and Ben now and seeing what they built is amazing. So that's just like a personal thing for us. But I think we look more to brands that have been able to be around for years and years, right? So of course everyone says the Supremes and whatnot, but obviously they've done something right to be around for 20 years.
Absolutely.
So really trying to model after some of those brands and think outside of fashion as well.
Okay. Favorite place to go out in a Friday night in LA?
Oh, that's a good one. I think growing up, we were going to all the clubs and stuff in LA, so have gotten a little bit out of that now. But
You guys get out of clubs a lot younger. I was going to
Yeah.
clubs till I was like 32.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, we started going in like college and kind of stopped when we started. But I've been liking like Soho Warehouse downtown. It's been cool. It's right next to our office. We've been going out there.
Right next to your office.
Yeah.
Favorite drink? Like what's your go-to drink?
Oh, probably a spicy margarita.
Okay.
Yeah.
Best Mexican food in LA?
Oh, best Mexican food. Honestly, I'm not the right person to answer that, but I was just in Mexico City, and it was like the best food I've ever had in my life.
You're drunk. It's 4:30 in the morning. You want nachos. Where are you going? Taco Bell?
No, not Taco Bell. I mean, I like tacos 1986.
Okay.
If that counts.
Okay. Favorite coffee shop?
Alfred.
Okay. Best concert you've ever been to?
Watch the Throne.
Great one.
Yeah.
The first thing you're going to buy when you make a crop load of money off this business?
Damn. Probably something for my parents.
Okay. Wow. That's nice. Like a car or watch or...
Yeah, kind of like whatever, but
Yeah.
really just like more like sentimental value.
Amazing. Last question. Give one piece of advice to your 18-year-old self.
Yeah, this is a good one. So when I was in college, I went to Michigan, and I always thought like I had to like follow a specific path. Like everyone at Michigan in the business school either does like consulting or banking or one of these like focused paths in finance, and realizing that those aren't the only options, and you could kind of do whatever you want, and you're better off doing that at an earlier age when there's less risk, and if you fail, no one remembers, right? So what we're doing now, even if it doesn't become super successful, even if it fails in 5 years, we'll be in such a better place, and we'll have learned so much more that we can really do anything after that. So I think that would be my biggest.
Not be so narrow.
Yeah,
Okay. And where can people find you if they want to ask you a question, pick your brain?
for sure. So I'm on Instagram at Peiman Raf.
Okay.
You're gonna have to spell it out because
Okay.
it's hard. But yeah, that's the best.
Are you
place.
on LinkedIn?
I am on LinkedIn at Peiman Raf as well.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you very much. Good luck with the brand. I love what you guys are doing. I've been watching from afar. It's fun to watch.
Thanks, D. Thanks for having me.